Hi, it's me again, Callum from Tyne Valley Motorhomes, and today I'll be doing the handover demonstration on a Hymer van 374. And then if we walk down the outside of the van, so this is your driver's side, you've got your mains connectivity here. This is where you hook up with mains power. You get your hookup lead, lift the collar, slide the collar just above the hookup point on the van, and connect to. Always hook the vehicle first, then the sight, and obviously do it in reverse, as we wouldn't want you walking around with a live lead in the wet. And then below this you've got your Hymer sticker. So this is a Hymer van 374. Its vehicle weight is 3.8 tonne, and then it can tow, if you want to put tow bar on this, it can tow up to 5.5 tonne. And you've got your front and back axle weights and your chassis number. Below you do have your wastewater drain off. So this is where you drain your water off over a grid, anything you've put down a plug hole. And then just behind the back wheel here, you've got your freshwater intake. So this opens with the Hymer key. So the key will open here, so it's a lockable cap. Then you put a hose pipe in there and fill it until it either overflowed or until you're happy you've got enough water on board, which you can't see above the door on the control panel how much you've got on board. In the back, this is your garage, so this can hold up to 350 kilos. You've got your tool kit there, so it's got a jack and a brace and cone eye in there, and you've got your storage with your tethering points to tie in your load down, and a small net there for keeping the handy items in. And on the back you do have your high level brake light and twin reverse camera. And then to operate, this is just an additional door for the garage, and to operate, put the key in, full turn, and then a turn which releases the door. Put the lock, full turn with the key, and a tap. On this side, it's the same as your garage, but you do have, so when loading your gas bottles in, you can't physically get the gas bottles through the locker door in front, which I'll show you in a second, so you get them in through here. And in there you'd fit two 6 kilogram gas bottles in there. And there is your waste extension pipe as well. So in front is your LPG, so this is a handy locker just to get your hands in to turn the bottles on and off when you're on the road. So what you do is, you'd always make sure the bottle's tied in when travelling, turned off when you're on the road, and then to connect the pigtail to the regulator, it's a left hand thread. Your hand tighten, and then you would nip up with a spanner. And then, like I said, make sure it is securely turned off when you're on the road. Further down, this is your Truma vent cover, so this is for your boiler, so just make sure this is obstruction free at all times for your heat. And behind there is your toilet. This is your cassette, so open the locker, lift this small catch up which holds the locker open. Make sure the blade on the bottom bowl of the toilet is closed, and you'll be able to lift and slide the cassette out. You've got wheels there so you can drag it around the site. Take it to your waste disposal point, which is normally behind or beside your toilet block. Take the grey cap off here, which is your measuring stick for your liquid when you come to reuse it. And then you would press this button here, allows a bit of air in, gives it a consistent flow. Tip it out. Once you've tipped it out, there's normally a tap, put some water in, give it a shake, rinse out again, and then you would then put a cap full of chemicals straight in here, and then place the cassette back into the vehicle. Ready to use it. And further down in this locker is all your batteries. So you've got 2 leisure batteries on this one, and you do have your main 12 volt fuses below, and some there for your batteries. So if anything was to blow a fuse on 12 volt, you would come here to check your fuses, so it would be a good idea to carry some spares. At the door you've got your lockable diesel cap. And then on the slam panel, so inside you do have your engine battery underneath the floor, so if you ever need to change the engine battery, it does need to come out through the floor. And then you've got your bonnet release on the side of the dashboard there. Walking round to the front, just have a quick look underneath your bonnet. So you've got your weight plate again here and your paint code, and then you've got your oil filler and oil dipsticks. You've got your brake fluid, radiator fluid, power steering fluid. This cover lifts off to fill these two. And then in the corner is your screen wash, which is the one you're going to need when you're on the road. And then should you ever need to jump start, give or receive one, you'd put your earth, which is your black clip, on here. And if you just put your key into here and lift this cover, this is where you'd put your positive, so your red clip. And then above the door, you've got your main 12-volt control panel, so you can turn on here. And then you've got your battery at the back, which is your leisure battery reading. Your battery, your water, sorry, which is your fresh water reading, which has got the filler at the top, which is fresh. And then which says it's 25%, and if we go further along, you've got your water that fills to the bottom, which is obviously dumping your water, so it's your waste water, which is empty. And then you do have your battery at the front, which is your engine battery. And as you can see, that's fully charged as well. Coming next to it, you've got your Truma digital control panel. So to turn on and off, you would just turn the wheel there, and then you get your menu. So in your menu, you've got the van with a thermometer flashing there, like so. And this is the temperature of the vehicle. So you can go from off all the way up to 30 degrees. And then should you be happy with it, you would just press set. And then you've got your water. So this is how hot you want your water. So you're off if you've got no water in the tank. Eco, which is 40 degrees of heating your water. Hot, which is 60. And boost, which turns off your heating and prioritizes your water. For this, we'll just say eco. This is gas only heating on this model. And then you do have your fan, so eco or high. And then coming down to the bottom, you've got your timer, so you can time the heating to come on and off. The clock. And then should you get a one triangle like we have, because we haven't got any gas on board, you go to your spanner, and then you can go to reset, and you can reset the heater. So this is just a Truma digital CP control system. To lock your habitation door on an evening, you would just push the small catch backwards in. Once it's on a slant, it's locked. Then you pull it forward to open the door. You do have a fly screen on the frame, and then on the actual door itself, the window, you do have a blackout blind. Next to it is your step control, so you can control this to come in and out. So this actually won't come in when the vehicle is switched on. You have to manually turn the step in and out. Then in the kitchen area, you do have your sink with 2 gas burner rings, your window, which you just press the buttons in on the catches and open, push it all the way out to bring it all the way back in, with a blackout and a fly screen. You've got a 230-volt socket when hooked up only, and your lights for your kitchen area. And then to open all your cabinets on the vehicle, if you just push the catch in below, and then it will release the handle. Got your big drawer there, your fridge, which is a 12-volt Wago fridge. So to turn on and off, you just use here. So obviously 0 being off and 7 being the highest temperature. So it's 12-volt fridge with a small freezer box. But when you're winterizing again, clean your fridge out and leave the fridge door open slightly. Stop any smells and any mold growing in the fridge. Got a little spice rack there with a bin and 2 gas taps. These are mainly for when the vehicle is habitation checked. Any problems with gas, turn off at the bottle, just to be safe. And in the floor, so under this hatch you've got your waste. So this is how you drop your fresh water. Sorry, not your waste, because it's blue. So this is your fresh water drop here. So you turn it open and closed, and that'll drain off underneath the vehicle. And under this one, this is your boiler drain. So in the winter it's very important you isolate your boiler, and this is in the open position as this vehicle has been winterized. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that diamond is straight with the vehicle from front to back, and the little black tab in the middle is popped out. There's a button at the front of here which will pop out as well. So there's a button just down here which pops out, and then once you are ready to use it and you want to hold the water in the boiler, that 10 litres, you turn it so it's across the vehicle, and then you push the button in at the bottom and it'll stay in. Once it's staying in, it's holding the water, and that holds the 10 litres of water in the boiler. But in the winter you want no water left in the vehicle, as the boiler can freeze, the pipes can freeze, the tanks can crack. So drain it off, and this is very important to drain, as it is a very expensive mistake to make if it does freeze in the boiler and it isn't covered under warranty. So you'd open it, so you'd turn that diamond to the top, from top to bottom of the vehicle, so not from the side, from the other way. Let the nib pop out and let the button pop out, and you'll hear the water drain directly underneath the chassis. You can then use, further back here, there is I just put a torch on there so you can see. There's a little round button on the pipe there. You'd open that and that'd drain off your fresh water pipes. So whatever water's left in, that's your hot water. So your fresh hot water drain pipe there. I do apologise, I was right the first time. This is your waste water, and your fresh is in the one further back, which I'll show you in a minute. So waste water, so the pipe that's outside, drive over a grid, and then open and deposit your waste water. Your fresh water drain is at the back here, and open this here, this round cog, you would just turn all the way to open it. So this grey cog here, turn it all the way open to empty your fresh water. And should you need access into the tank for cleaning, you can take the cap off at the back. But obviously in the winter, no water should be left in the motorhome. At the back of the motorhome you've got 2 single beds, or you can put the boards across, so you can put the boards further across the van, and then this can make a double bed across the van should you require, by using the small infill cushion. And then you've got storage, a skylight here which you just turn and open, but do make sure that's securely shut before you do travel. You've got a blackout blind there, and a fly screen, or a blackout blind and a fly screen there. Storage along the top. These lights you can have on either blue, which is your night light, or you can have the actual light on. And the same the other side, so blue or the actual light on. More storage, windows with blackout blinds and fly screens like every other window on the motorhome. More storage, curtain here should you want to have a bit of privacy. And then in the washroom area, to operate your toilet, so you'd turn the control panel on, you'd flush the toilet, so the fan will kick in, turn the fan off, just press it. You'd obviously flush the toilet first to lubricate the blade, and then when you use it, if you open the blade by sliding this to the right, opens the trap door and allows it into the cassette. Once you finish using the toilet, if you flush, and then if you slide this back to isolate the cassette again. But always lubricate first, as it will make the blade move nice and freely, otherwise it can get stiff. And then once you get more than one light on, so there's 3 lights, that means your cassette is full and requires changing. You've got your drop down sink here, so you've got a little lever here which you slide down to release the sink, like so, and then you can use the tap. Light for your bathroom, push your cabinet, which is your toiletry cabinet, same skylight is over the bed, and shower screen to stop your toilet from getting wet should you be showering. And you do have a duck board in the bottom there, which is better for the shower tray as it bears the weight better, and obviously allows the water to drain off underneath. But this is just a magnetic door. You've also got a Project 2000 TV bracket fitted by the last owner, so you just press the catch in to release it, slide it out, and then if you wanted to turn it around into the bedrooms, you just pull this chrome lever down and spin it around like so in the bedrooms. To operate the skylight above the lounge area, you push the button in, slide it open or slide it into the grooves, but when shutting, make sure that the bar is always above the button and that is securely shut before travel, along with all the windows and skylights in the vehicle. You've got a fly screen and a blackout blind. Your table, so if you pull this lever here, you can then slide the table round, so you can slide it out, and should that chair be turned as well, it gives you a dining space for 4 people. Tally point up there, so you've got your TV socket, so you've got a 12 volt and a 240 socket up there, and another 240 socket up here. Push your lights for these to come on, which are like your little reader lights on both sides. To turn your seats on an evening or when you're parked up, this lever here turns it round. Should it get stuck anywhere, just readjust the driving position by the big bar at the front of the seat. Now in your cab, so at the right of the driver, you do have your folding handbrake. You've got your concertina blind, so you use your finger and your thumb, pinch and allow the front to lead, which blacks out the side windows, and then you've got the same on the front, so you just pull them out. Keep a hold of them, and then you're just on a magnetic catch, so if it's going to be a really blustery, wintry night, you might want an elastic band or bob around there. And they stow away like so, and you've got the same sort of blind on your passenger window. And then down here you've got your headlight adjustment and fog lights, wipers with trip computer. I'll get onto this in a minute. This is your alarm. See, step switch, so you can take the step in, so when you start the engine and the steps out, it'll just beep at you and make a noise. Instead of getting up, you can just hit that button, because you can just pull the step in. You can't put the step out from this button, no, you can only retract it. Lights and indicators, cruise control, the top, off, speed limit at the bottom, 6-speed manual gearbox. You've got a rear view camera and a reverse camera, so switches between the two with there being a twin lens. One looks far back and one looks down the back of the bumper like this one is. So red line is your bumper, green line is the safe, and the distance you've got between the two. Turns your traction control off. Hazard lights, forget about this one, it's for an automatic. Locks the cab doors, heated mirrors, USB for charging and 12 volt. This is your distribution, so where you want the air to go to, and either if you're bringing fresh air in or recirculating it. Fan speed must be on at least 1 or more for the aircon to work, and then you do have your temperature on the outside ring. Radio is a single DID head unit. glove box in there, glove box on the top. And then you've got a large skylight at the top, which is just like a window, so you would release the levers, push it out, and to keep it out you just tighten these black knobs. Bring it in, lock it securely before you do start travelling anywhere, or if it's windy, and then you do have a blackout blind and a fly screen on there. And this brings us to the end of the handover demonstration on the Hymer van 374. Should you need any more information on this model, please contact us on 01207 272 777 or email our sales team at sales@Tyne Valley Motorhomes. And then just before I go, I'll quickly show you this alarm. So when you lock the van, the alarm is automatically set as it's programmed through the Fiat key. But should you want to turn the sensors off, which are on the pillars, what you need to do is you need to put the ignition on and arm it with yourselves in. Ignition on, ignition off within 6 seconds, press and hold. You see it flashing? Once it doesn't flash anymore, it's turned off. But as soon as the ignition or engine is then started, it goes back to default, so you've got to do this every time. I'd like to thank you for watching the handover video on the Hymer van 374.